first of all, I heartily obeisance in the lotus feet of my Paramaradhatam Guru Pad Padma Nitya Leela Pravishwam Vishnupad Sutasya Smarvati Parakhyami Sarveshwam. The lotus feet of my Shiksha Guru Nitya Leela Pravishwam Vishnupad Sutasya Smarvati Vedant Swami Narayana. My dear Sannyasi, Brahmachari, Vaishnava and Vaishnavi. We have told about Prahlad Maharaj. If you want bhakti, then you must follow Prahlad Maharaj. How tolerant was he? You should be tolerant. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told, Tina tapi suni chena taro rapi sadishnuna amanina manadena. So, this should be tolerant more than a tree. Yes. Giving his say, fruits, flowers, bark, everything, never wants any water or anything. And all things are for the benefit of people. So this must be. Then Krishna will come in your heart. Now Parikshit Maharaj is telling to Sukadeva Goswami, Prabhu, you have told the Nivritti and Pravritti Marga. You have told the history of Uttanpada, Priyabrata. You have told where the location of all the graha, planetary system. So now I want to hear something. That in this world, generally people do so many sins unwillingly. They want to avoid what they cannot avoid. They must do any way sin. Like Panchsuna Pap. What is Panchsuna? If you are walking, so many insects are crushed. If you are taking breath, oh so many. If you are drinking water, you are drinking water pot like before earthen pot, ghada color, and then so many insects. Willingly, not willingly. You want to avoid, but even you will have to do. I know that we should try to do prayashchitta of these sinful activities. What is the best atonement? You should tell. I know that tapasya and other prayashchitta, jagya, dhan, charity, other donations, going to tirtha, we are not pure, so tell me. And then he began to tell the history of Ajamil and many Muni Maharaj. You should come here. All kinds of sin are washed by one name of Krishna, so powerful. So have strongly faith in Krishna name and chant. This is the remedy of all kinds of diseases in this world. And it will fulfill your desire. You can see it here.
Gurave Gurachandraya Radhikaya Stadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah. At first I offer my humble respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of our Gurudev, Om Vishtupad Paramahansa Vigrad Kacharya Stotra Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, and equally unto the lotus feet of Om Vishtupad Paramahansa Srimad Gauranga Goswami Maharaj. Then I offer my respectful obeisances to all the sannyasis and Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. So Guru Maharaj ordered me to speak on Ajamil. So in the beginning of 6th canto, as Gurudev just mentioned, Parikshit Maharaj asked to Sukadeva Goswami that you have explained in 2nd canto about the Nibriti Marga, how renouncing everything, one can go to Brahmalok and then get the liberation. After that, explained about Prabriti Marga, and also in the dynasty of Priyavrata and Uttanpad, and then explained the persons who are committing so much sinful activities, how they suffer in hellish planets in 5th canto. So now, so many people we are engaged in so much fruitive activities, always committing sinful activities, and they have to suffer in hellish planets. What is the way how one can be free from all these sinful reactions and get ultimate liberation, ultimate salvation? Then Sukadeva Goswami explaining here the glories of bhakti, devotional service. Because as Gurudev mentioned, in Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda, there's so many ways is given, so many how to enjoy this world, and also how do we free from some atonement process is given. 2 types of atonement is given in Karma Marga and in Jnana Marga. In Karma Marga, in fruitive activities when doing, we commit so much sinful reactions we acquire. How to destroy them? By doing so much yajna, dan, charity and austerity like this. But by this type of atonement, completely, temporarily you may get some benefit, relief from the suffering. But the seed is still there. The seed desire to enjoy, to commit sinful activity is there. As if an example is given, elephant goes to the river, takes nicely bath, after that coming to the bank, again take the dust and throw on the body. Again taking. So Sukadeva Goswami Parikshit Maharaj asking that again and again people were doing atonement, but again their coming desire is there. By that again they are engaged again in committing sinful activities. Same question also in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna also asked Bhagavan Sri Krishna that unwillingly they don't want to commit what they are committing because Kama is a roj, Krodha is a Rajoguna Samudbhava. By the modes of nature, influence of modes of nature, because they are under control of the 3 modes of nature, they are bound to again commit the sinful activities. The seed is there. So another type of atonement is there, little higher, by controlling all your senses, your mind, and be remaining pure. Also the one atonement process is given. But that is also, the seed is not completely destroyed. Like a bamboo bush, completely born into ashes. But as soon as there will be rain, water will drop, they will again to sprout, begin to sprout. The desire will again come. Like there is papa, the prarabdha, aprarabdha, papa and beej. The prarabdha, aprarabdha karma will destroy. Pap, the sin somewhat, but the seed to commit the sinful activity is never destroyed. This is only process is given, that is by unalloyed service of the Supreme Lord, which is Gurudev explained, Uttama Bhakti, Anyabhyasta Sunyam Jnana Karma Dhyana Pratam Anukullena Krishnanusilanam Bhakti Uttama. Only under guidance of a pure devotee, If one cultivates unalloyed devotional service, completely the seed even is destroyed. What to speak of completely full pure devotional service? Even a semblance, even little bit someone is doing, that's also enough to destroy all the sinful reactions. Neha vikramanasasti pratyavaya navidyate swarpam apya dharmasya trayate mahatamaya. What to speak of committing perfectly? Even one slightly doing, even his all the sinful activities, reactions is destroyed forever. So this narrative explains the glories of bhakti. Sukadeva Goswami narrating one story of Ajamil. The Ajamil was born in the kingdom of Kanyakubja, one city of Kanyakubja, Nagari. So Ajamil was born as a son of a Vedic Brahmin. Very Nastic, very good Brahmin who was well behaved and always engaged in Vedic rituals. Ajamil was very pure and good sanskar he had. So but when he was youth, in his youth time, he was in association with a prostitute and married to the prostitute and begot so many children. 10 children was born, and the last son was almost 5 years old, and when Ajamil is 88 years old, means 83 years old, he even produced a child from that prostitute. So how much he was materially attached, so we can calculate. So at the time of death came, Ajamil was fully attached. His youngest son was name was Narayana. He always was very, very dear to affectionate son. While he was eating, while sleeping, always he used to keep attention on the son. So always he is busy, engaged in loving affairs with the son. So the time came, his death approached. Suddenly, when the time of death came, when death comes, not gives us notice, it can come suddenly, and we lose everything at the time of death. Krishna is telling, Mrityu sarva harasya. At the time of death, everything will lose. Ajamil did not know that his death is coming. Suddenly when death came, his time, he committed so much sinful activities till then. Because he is attached to the prostitute. For the pleasure of the prostitutes, he did so much sinful activity by robbery, stealing, killing others, doing all type of sinful activities. So much sinful activity are engaged. So when death came, so 3 Yamadutas, the message carriers, messengers of Yamaraj, they came there. Very fearful form, with robes, their hairs was all erected and eyes were very, very big. And seeing this, Ajamil was very, very afraid. As soon as he saw this very fearful form, he was at once, because so much affection for the son, immediately called, "Oh Narayana, oh my son Narayana, please come here." So as soon as he uttered the name of Narayana, the 4 message carriers of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, Vaikuntha, Vishnu Duta, they appeared there. As soon as they appeared, they stopped. The Jamadutas, they are going to bind the soul from the heart of this Ajamil, from the subtle body, and bind and bring it to Yamlok. At that time, the 4 Vishnu Dutas, they came and stopped them. You cannot bind, you cannot take this. Oh, they stopped. For the first time, these Yamadutas, they saw these very beautiful forms. 4 Vishnu Dutas, lotus-like eyes, and 4-handed with all their Sankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma in their arms, very beautifully, youthful. And seeing this, they stopped. You cannot cross this, cannot take to Yamlok. Who are you? Oh, we are the message carriers to Yamaraj. This is very, very sinful. Then Vishnu Dutas asked, "Oh, do you know why you are taking the Ajamil? Because he committed so much sinful activities." Then they explained, those who commit so much sinful activities, we take them for punishment, like this, so much explanation they gave. And then they explained the Ajamil, life of Ajamil. This Ajamil was sinless, but when he was young, youth, so his father sent him to the forest to collect some ingredients for the yajna, like kusa grass and other things, some is for firewood and other things. While he was going to the forest, he saw a sight, a evil character man, drunkard man, with a prostitute. They both are drunken and they are so much embracing, kissing. Seeing all these things, so at once lost appeared in the heart of Ajamil. Very strong desire came. And Krishna is telling, Chanchali mana Krishna pramati balavat dridham tasyam nigram manye bairu suduskara. Arjuna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, very difficult to control the mind. If one can control the mind can be your friend, otherwise the mind will be your enemy. Manave manushyanam karanam bandhamachyaya. So the mind is very, very difficult to control, restless. So Ajamil was young and handsome, and his desire came, very strong desires came. So even he returned home, but still his desire was there. How to enjoy like that? Desire was very strong. Then after that, he kept that prostitute as maid servant and enjoyed. By association with the prostitute, slowly he gave up his chaste wife, Brahmin wife, and neglected his parents and committed all type of sinful activities for pleasure of this prostitute. So that's like whole life he committed like sinful activities. The Yamadutas told that he has not done any atonement. Now it's time of death. So he is bound to suffer in hell's planets. Then the Vishnu they explained, oh, you should remember, you don't know the principles of dharma. Ajamil uttered the name of Lord Narayana. One who utters the name of Lord Narayana, at once he was free from all the sinful activities he done in this life. Not in this life, even millions of lives sinful activity reactions is destroyed by uttering one name of Narayana. What to speak of pure name, even the Namabhas. Namabhas is a certain stage when somebody is not avoiding the offense, no offense is there, no namaparad is there, not committing any sinful any offense to holy name, but not pure name yet achieved. So Ajamil was very, very suffering so much. At that time he did not commit any sinful activity, any offense to the holy name. Especially the chance is there, like the glory, thinking the glory of holy name to be imaginary, and the misinterpretation of the meaning of the holy name, Arthabad and Naam Bole Kapu. These things never came in his mind. So he was free from all Naam Aparad and he chanted the holy name. That's why all the sinful reactions at once destroyed. Then Vishnu explained the glories of holy name to the Jamadutas. They explained, oh, the holy name is very, very powerful. It chants Shraddha Hedayava Bhugavar Naramatra Tare Krishna Nam. Even chanting with attention, attentively or inattentively, even Sanketya Paribhasam Kyova Hedanam. Even by indicating, not directly even indicating the Supreme Lord Narayana, even indicating something, but the name is uttered anyway. Sanketya Paribhasam, by joking. Sometimes the Muslims or others don't want to chant the holy name, but they criticize like jokingly. Even Stova, Sanketya Paribhasam, Stova means by we sing sometimes so much musical, more attention to the musical instruments and other things, not giving attention to the pure holy name, not remembering. This is also like this. And negligence, in negligence chanting holy name. By this, if one chants the holy name, even all the sinful reactions is fully destroyed. And pure name, if one chants, he directly sees Krishna himself, and Krishna prem arises in the heart. So like hearing these glories, Ajamil was astonished. What is the glories of devotional service? He came to know. And when he wanted to speak something, then the Yamadutas and Vishnudutas, they all disappeared. Then he realized, he repented so much. Alas, how I wasted my life. How I enjoyed this body like a stool. I enjoyed the body so much and committed so much sinful activities. See, all repented what he did mistakes. And then he went to Haridwar, took shelter of Vishnu temple and devotees, and started severely doing chanting holy name and cultivating Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, all the ninefold devotional service. And after the end, time came and he gave up this body in the river Ganges, and pure body, his spiritual form appeared, and the same Vishnudutas appeared with a golden chariot. They took Ajamil's body to the spiritual world. So this is the glories of devotional service. How even very, very sinful Ajamil, chanting even Namavas, not pure name, if he could get the Vaikuntha, if under guidance of pure devotee, like Gurudev, Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu, Smritya Kamena Rasana Manasi Niyojya, Tishtana Bhaje, Tadanu Ragi, Jananu Gami, Kalam Nait, Akhilam Itupadesa Saram. So, Rupa Goswami is telling that Krishna's name, the Nama, form, qualities, all under guidance of a pure devotee, Rasik Vaishnava, is staying in Vrindavan, remembering, completely under guidance. If one is fully engaged in devotional service, then what will not achieve? Will definitely achieve the more than Vaikuntha, even Golok Vrindavan, will enter into the eternal service of Radha Krishna. Gaur Premanande.
After this, Maharaj Parikshit asked Sukadeva Goswami, you have told so many histories. Also, you have told Sajjati and others. And also, you have told Nabhaga Charitra. In Nabhaga Charitra, you have told that the son of Nabhag was Ambarish Maharaj. He was so bhaktiman. He was very rich of bhakti that even Brahmadanda could not espouse him. Means Brahmadanda, the cause of any Brahman yogi high class of you should die, you will die. Like this. A dead person is there, oh, you should die. So powerful you. Oh, cause could not espouse. So I want to hear this history. Please tell me. Shamran, you can come here and sit.
Om Jnanam Timirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. First I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipable Diksha Gurudev. Nijavila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Astotra Satshi Shrimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Om Vishnu Pad Astotra Satshri Shrimad, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, to all of our disciplic succession and all the assembled devotees. Srila Gurudev has ordered me to discuss the life, history, and character of Maharaj Ambarish, the son of Nabhaga, King Nabhaga, and a great Mahabhagavat devotee. Maharaj Ambarish is very famous, especially in relationship with his observance of Ekadasi. Because he was such a Krishna-conscious king, always absorbed in thoughts of Lord Krishna, engaging all of his senses, his working senses, his knowledge-acquiring senses, his mind, his intelligence, everything in the service of the Lord. Savai Mana Krishna Padaravindayo Vaijamshi Vaikunta Gunarnavanane. He engaged his hands in touching and service the Lord's pure devotees. He engaged his nose in smelling the tulsi offered to the Lord, his tongue in tasting only Krishna Prasadam, and his words in glorifying the activities of the Lord, his feet, his legs in walking to the temple of the Lord, his body engaged in the service of the deities, his eyes absorbed in the beauty of the deities. And in this way, by his full absorption, he left a lot of the management to his ministers, and he was absorbed in the service of the deities. And by his ruling, his entire kingdom was Krishna conscious. Even though he possessed the opulence of the entire world, he considered his great opulence, all of his wealth, his treasury, his elephants, his horses, his palaces, everything no more significant than a dry straw. Because he engaged all of his opulences in the service of the deity, he was always detached. And as a result, his entire kingdom was happy and Krishna conscious. He observed Ekadasi Vrat for an entire year. And now the year was coming to an end, and he fasted for 3 whole days and nights. And then it was now coming to the time of Paran, or observing the breaking of the Ekadasi fast. First, when he rose in the morning, he worshipped the Brahmanas, he worshipped the deities, he bathed and dressed them in very beautiful garments and ornaments, performed arati, and fed the Brahmins sumptuously. And then with their permission, he was about to take the paran. And just at that moment, an unexpected guest arrived, who is Durvasa Rishi. Durvasa Rishi is known in the scriptures as a great Brahma yogi, or a sort of an impersonalist, Brahmin, powerful yogi. Actually, Durvasa Muni is a pure devotee of the Lord. He met the gopis, he met the cowherd boys, but he's so wonderful that he doesn't mind taking the part of the bad guy in order to glorify Krishna's devotees, and in this case, Maharaj Ambarish. So Durvasa Rishi came just a few minutes, like 40 minutes before Maharaj Ambarish had to complete his paran. Otherwise, without taking paran at the exact right time, the Ekadasi vow is not complete and one does not get the result of bhakti, even if he's done the austerities of Ekadasi. So Maharaj Ambarish knew the Vedic etiquette of worshipping a Brahmana. He seated him, worshipped him, offered him prasadam, but the Rishi said that he would go and take bath first in the Jamuna. During that time, it was just coming to the moments when he'd have to take the paran. So he knew exactly what to do, being a pure Vedic king. So consulting and having it confirmed by his Brahmana ministers, who were also very pure, he decided that when one observes a complete fast, one can break the fast by taking water, which can be considered eating and not eating. And especially, he took the Charanamrita of the Lord. In the meantime, Durvasa Rishi, in his trance of meditation, understood that Maharaj Ambarish had taken something before feeding him. When he reached the palace, having understood this, he became so furious by false pride, false ego, that I was not respected and worshipped properly. I hardly ever go to the homes of grihasthas, but now by my mercy I've done so, and I'm not respected properly. So he pulled out a bunch of hair in his great fury. His face turned red, his eyes were red, his eyebrows were up in a great rage, and he pulled out a bunch of his hair and threw it on the floor. And what happened? Out of that bunch of hair came a giant demoness named Kritya. And she was so powerful and so fiery that she could only be compared with the fire at the time of universal devastation. She went running towards Maharaj Ambarish to destroy him. But he didn't budge an inch. He was absorbed in meditating on the pastimes of the Lord. And he had just been performing austerities in Madhuban. So his worshipful deity is Brajendranandan Krishna himself. So he was absorbed in the Lord. He wasn't the slightest bit disturbed when this demoness came charging at him. Rather, he was weeping in ecstasy, thinking of the Lord. But the Lord had already promised that anyone who's my pure devotee, I give him my disc. And when he's in the slightest danger, my disc, my Sudarshan chakra, goes to protect him. So, Sudarshan chakra immediately was sent by Lord Krishna and instantly burnt that fire demon to ashes. At which point, the Sudarshan chakra went right for Maharaj Ambarish. And he immediately fled in fear for his life and ran everywhere, up the mountains, in the caves, in the water, everywhere, all over the universe. And he was being burnt and just about almost touched by the Sudarshan chakra. Finally, he reached Brahmalok and took shelter of Lord Brahma to save him. And Brahma told him, first he went to Brahmaloka, and Brahma told him, I cannot save you, because at the time of universal destruction, just by the mere movement of his eyebrows, Krishna's expansion as Lord Vishnu destroys everything. So Brahma, myself, Lord Shiva, and all the other demigods are fully surrendered to his will. Lord Shiva said the same thing when Durvasa Muni went to Shivalok to try and get protection from him. So they recommended that go to Vishnulok and maybe he will save you, maybe he will protect you. So there's a Vishnuloka in this universe called Rama Priya Vaikuntha. So Durvasa Muni went there and he fell at the feet of Lord Vishnu and begged to be saved. He expected to be saved because he considered himself a great powerful Brahmin. And after all, Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. The Lord is the well-wisher of the Brahmins, first and foremost. So, to his surprise, the Lord told him that you're trying to kill my devotee. I consider that you're trying to kill me, because I'm not independent. I'm living only in the heart of my devotee, and my devotee is living in my heart. He knows no one but me, and I know no one but him in reciprocation. Jejatamam prabhadyante tams tatoiva bhajamyaham. As they surrender to me, I reward them accordingly. So one who has no other shelter but me, does not depend on anyone but me, he doesn't depend on his own strength, his own will, his own mind at all. I give him all protection and I live in him. So I consider that you wanted to give me pain. But wait a minute. I'm a great Brahmana and he's only a Grihastha. He should have respected me. So Krishna told him that all of your Brahminical powers, all of your tapasya, all of your knowledge is all a waste. When tapasya or austerities and knowledge is used by a wrong person for a wrong purpose, especially against a devotee, that austerity and that knowledge serves to destroy the person who employs it. And that's why you're now in so much danger. He did so much for me. Ambarish Maharaj does so much for me. He's fully surrendered to me. He gave up his affection for his wife, his children, his treasury, all of his family members, all of his possessions, his entire citizenship, and is fully devoted to me. And what have you done? He's so absorbed in me that when your monstrous fire came to attack him, he just stood there absorbed in me so tolerant, as Gurudev said, tolerant like a tree, always giving to others and never ever disturbed. But you consider yourself a great, powerful Brahmana, but as soon as you saw my Sudarshan chakra, you immediately trembled. Your whole body trembled and you fled for your life without any thought of me at all. You were just thinking of your own body. But he didn't respect me. I'm a Brahmin and he didn't respect me. He respected bhakti. Maharaj Amrish had to consider that now I have a Brahmana guest in my house. If I disrespect him, then surely, according to the Vedic scriptures, I'll go to hell. But then again, if I don't complete my Ekadasi vrat properly, then I'll lose my bhakti. Now if I lose my bhakti, even if I'm in heaven, I might as well be in hell. And if I have my bhakti, then even if I'm in hell, I'll feel like I'm in much greater situation than heaven. Gurudev shared an incident that when he was in the Bombay hospital, one of his disciples approached him and said, "Oh Gurudev, my son is critically ill, please bless him, that he'll be healthy again." And Gurudev said, I asked her, "Do you want me to bless him with bhakti or with good health?" "Oh Gurudev, please bless him with good health." Gurudev said she was so foolish, she didn't realize that if one has bhakti, everything else is there. As our Prabhupada used to say, when your $100 problem is solved, then your $10 problems are automatically solved. So now Lord Vishnu is telling Durvasa Rishi that he didn't disrespect you, he was respecting, and why should anybody respect you? You're not even an actual Brahmana, trying to give me pain by giving pain to my devotee. Whereas he was honoring Bhakti Devi by taking the pardon. I think it's better if you just go and surrender to him if you want to be saved. I cannot save you. In the meantime, while all this was going on for an entire year, Maharaj Amrish, being an actual devotee, was never angry at Durvasa Rishi. He was so humble, he had such Vaishnavata that he blamed himself. I generally blame others that happen because of my own karma. Whereas he, even though he was faultless, he was blaming himself for a suffering that was brought upon Durvasa Rishi by his own self. And so he fasted the entire year, drinking only water and repenting and lamenting. And he was praying that just on my account, because of my disrespect, this poor Brahmana has to suffer now at the hands of the Sudarshan Chakra. So he prayed to the Sudarshan Chakra that, "O Sudarshan Chakra, you are none different from Krishna himself. You are the beginning of everything. You're the source of light. You're Krishna's eyes. You're the source of all the senses, the source of all the planetary systems. If I have done any devotional service and the Lord is pleased with me, if I've done any spiritual pious activities, then please give my pious activities to this Brahmana and please don't burn him." So now he's been ordered by the Lord to go to Maharaj Amrish. So he immediately fell at the feet of Maharaj Amrish, who had been praying to him, and said, "Yes, take all the results of my pious activity at once be delivered." So by this, Durvasa Muni realized the power of Ekadasi Vrat. He realized that Maharaj Amrish is actually a great devotee. And Maharaj Amrish immediately gave him a big feast of Krishna Prasad, and then Durvasa Rishi asked him that you please take. And Durvasa Rishi then left, took permission and left, going through the skyways and glorifying Maharaj Amrish. So there are so many lessons here. One, just as Prahlad Maharaj never became angry or blamed his father, and he prayed for the deliverance of his father, so Maharaj Amrish did the same. Also, by his pure devotion, everywhere he went, he illuminated. Just like a light bulb, when it's connected with the powerhouse, it illumines everywhere. So therefore his whole kingdom was Krishna conscious. He was absorbed externally, all of his senses in the service of the deity, and internally he was in Bhava Bhakti, and his palace was in Madhuvan. So he was absorbed internally in the Vrindavan pastimes of the Lord. In fact, the Lord told Durvasa Muni that even though I'm full of so many opulences, I don't care to enjoy my opulences without my devotees. So therefore he's a Braj devotee. Krishna gives up his opulences and forgets his opulences and takes pleasure in the association of devotees. So this is also the glory of Ekadasi Vrat. When once on Ekadasi, Gurudev said, this is not a day. This day Ekadasi is not a day. It's Krishna himself. And Krishna was thinking, how can I save all these fallen souls enwrapped in sinful activities? Yes, I will become a day. And anyone who follows the simple process of that day, he will be delivered. Just as Radharani came from Krishna's left side, Ekadasi also emanated from the body of Sri Krishna himself. So this is the glory of Maharaj Ambarish, the glory of Ekadasi Vrat, also the glory of Durvasa Rishi, who was willing to be the bad guy, didn't care for his own glory, just like Kaikai didn't care to be hated by the universe for the satisfaction and glorification of Ram. So, Maharaj Ambarish ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Really, Maharshi Durvasa was very high class of devotee, and directly everywhere he wants to glorify bhakts, and he wanted to glorify Ambarish Maharaj, and he did so. Because we see that Maharshi Durvasa lives in Vrindavan. Even he has given a boon to Radhika that if you will cook and anyone will take prasadam by your cooking, he will long live and he will defeat his all enemies. When Krishna went to Dwarka, he also went there and he glorified him. So, as a tree, he went to Ambarish Maharaj and showed that how he is, and he told himself, Baho Ananta Dasanam Mahattam Madhyame Drishti. He is glorifying. Oh, today I have seen how glory are these Vaishnavas. More than I am Brahma Yogi, I can give any benediction, but they are superior. So, quickly he went to Ambarish Maharaj and glorified him. When he was running, and Sudarshan Chakra was following him, Sudarshan Chakra in a minute he can at once cut his head. But why in 1 year he could not cut it? Because Ambarish Maharaj was there praying, Oh Sudarshan Maharaj, you should not cut it. And secondly, Durvasa was really a bhakta. So he was showing fear to Maharaj Durvasa, but actually he did not want to kill. That is why. So there are so many mysteries in this. After hearing this, Maharaj Parikshit asked him, Maharaj Sukdev Goswami, that we heard that how Vritrasur at the time of death he was praying Krishna Bhakti. What is the first word? Aham Hare Tau Pad Moolam. दासानुदासो भवितास्तु भूय मनस्मरेतास्तु पते गुणानि प्रणीत वाक् कर्म करोति अजात पक्षा इव मातरम खगा स्तन्ने जथा पच्च तरह सुधा प्रिय प्रियव विसुतं विषण्णा. This is like a Priya in the separation of his most beloved. I want to be like that. So please tell him some auspicious life history of Maharaj Chitraketu, and then he began to speak. You. Louder.
I, from my prostrated, humble obeisances at the lotus feet of Bhaktivedanta Narayana Maharaj, my Siksha Guru, and said, Guru, may he be pleased by our endeavors here at the Bhakti Festival in Houston. I also offer my limited obeisances to the lotus feet of my Siksha Guru, His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. May he also be pleased by our endeavors to spread Krishna consciousness here in Houston. I also offer my obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, Brahmacharis, Sannyasis, and all guests who have come to hear something about Krishna consciousness. So, how is everybody doing? This Krishna consciousness is very nice. Srila Goswami, he is Kirtaniya Shrishta. By his preaching, he became perfect. You know there are 9 processes of bhakti, Shravan, Kirtan, Vishnu, Smaran, Bhakti, Vaishnava, Bhakti, and so on. So Sukadeva Goswami became perfect just by speaking Krishna Katha. And Parikshit Maharaj became perfect just by hearing this Katha. So if you are also hearing, Gurudev is speaking, we can all become perfect by this process, because he is already perfect. But, of course, the audience should be very attentive. Many of you know the story of Gokarna and Dundakari. He gave Bhagavad Gita, but only Dundakari was delivered. The others weren't delivered. Why was that? They're falling asleep, they're thinking about other things. So everyone should be very attentive to Krishna Katha. It's a very important thing. Just like taking medicine, you can pop so many pills in your mouth, but if it's not absorbed, does it do any good? So we should hear with rapt attention. That is important. That's part of the lecture. This is a Bhakti Bhav Param. So, in order to understand that you are ready to hear Krishna Katha, I would like to just put the level of Bhakti Bhav on this parameter by everybody saying Hari Bol very loudly. Hari Bol! I'm sorry you didn't have it on. Could you do that once more? Alright, that's level 6. The barometer actually wants to get up to number 7. So one more time. So we're ready for Krishna Katha. So this story is not just a story, this is a history. The Puranas are histories, they're not mythology as some people have ascribed to the Vedas and Puranas. This is actual history of the universe. So when we hear it, we should know these activities took place many, many thousands and thousands of years ago. But they're factual, they're real. So the story of Chitraketu is a very convoluted story. There are many different leelas which come into play. So I will begin when Maharaj Chitraketu was a king and had 10,000 wives. 10 million? So the million wives, sorry. So, even though he had so many wives, still he was devoid of a son. And everyone who's a king wants a son because he has to pass on his kingdom to the son. So he was very much in a lamentable condition of life. So when Angira Rishi came to his kingdom and met him, he prayed for the boon that he would have a son. And the Rishi blessed him that he would have a son, but that son would cause both happiness and lamentation. And so he named his son, he said, you can give him the name Harsha Marsha. Harsha Shoka. Harsha Shoka. So Harsha means pleasure or happiness, and Shok means misery. Yes. So the Rishi prepared some prasad and gave it to the chief queen. The chief queen took the prasad, and in due course of time, a son was born. And Chitraketu became very pleased, very happy, very overjoyed. And now his desires are fulfilled. Of course, if you have heard and read Srimad Bhagavatam, you know as soon as we desire happiness, then we open the doors for the distress to enter. Everything in life is destined. What we are accumulating in this life has accrued from our karma in the last life. So we have to deal with whatever we are given in life with a very humble attitude. Happiness and distress are going to come just like waves in the river. Sometimes the waves are very big, sometimes very small. So we should be very tolerant for any unfortunate things and also not be disturbed by excessive happiness. So, the name of the son again was? So then what happened? The co-wives became very envious because all the attention of the king went to his first wife, and therefore they made a plot amongst themselves to actually kill the son. So this happens, and the poor child had to bear the brunt of their envy, and therefore poison was given to him, and the son expired. So when the nurses found out, when the king's wife found out, and then when the king found out, there was shoka, great crying, unhappiness, misery. So although initially the son provided so much pleasure to the king, in the end he became very miserable. But why has destiny done this to me? So sometimes people think like this: why have I become the object of misery when misery strikes? What is the reason for all this? And then some people have no answer. But because we ascribe to the Vedic Praman, we know there is karma. Whatever we get, we deserve due to our activities in the previous life. But most of the people in the world don't even understand that. And they write books like Why Bad Things Happen to Good People. They don't conceive of the law of karma. But we are all blessed because we understand the law of karma simply by reading Bhagavad Gita. So, then what happened? The rishis came back, both Angira and Narada Rishi, and by the power of their austerity, they were able to revive the king's son. So, to the amazement of all, this boy, what's his name? He came back to life. And when he came back to life, he just started speaking Atma Tattva, the science of the soul. The science of the soul means we have not just one Father, we have not just one life, but we are following in a chain of birth and death, life after life, according to our destiny. So, Harsha Shoka said, how can you claim to be my parents when I have had so many parents previously? I will have so many parents in the future. We should know the soul is without designation. It is not white, it is not black, it is not male, it is not female, it is not American, Russian. It is simply part and parcel of Krishna, Jivarsvarup Nitya Krishna Das. So the young boy, just after being born and dying, came back to life and started speaking the science of the soul to the queens and the king. So they all became fully enlightened in Krishna consciousness by the grace of Narad Rishi. So Narad Rishi figures in the Srimad Bhagavatam in so many different pastimes. He's the incarnation of devotional service, and we know Prahlad is his disciple, Dhruva is his disciple, and also Chitraketu Maharaj. So Chitraketu Maharaj took mantra from Narad Muni. Narad Muni is the spiritual master, so he enlightened him and gave him one mantra to chant. That is given. That mantra was Om Namo Namaste Bhagavatubyas Vasudeva Bhagavati Pradyumnani Udaya Namah Shankarashanaya Cha. So he was chanting and chanting his mantra, Guru mantra, like all of you, although you who have taken initiation or are about to receive initiation from Shri Gurudev, you'll be asked to chant that mantra every day. So by that chanting, what happened? Within 1 week, Maharaj Chitraketu actually became elevated. He became the king of the Vidyadharas, very elevated devas. And within a few days after that, continuing to chant his mantra, his Ishtadeva was revealed to him, and his Ishtadeva was who? Anybody else? Sankarshan. Sankarshan is Balaram. Balaram has this beautiful form, like Krishna but white, with lotus feet, lotus eyes, everything transcendental. So Chitraketu himself had full darshan of the Supreme Lord, and he offered so many prayers, he received so many blessings. He began to eventually, after meeting the Lord, travel all over the universe, and many thousands of years he was living.
Very good. What became?
My good luck.
From nearby.
Chakshurmitam yena tharismaya svirena Gurudeva Chandraya Radhikaya Tadavaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktya Tadbhaktya Namo Aradi Bhakta Sampradaya Narabayama Mama Vichmam Ram Kripamburir Pradukuduki Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shimad Bhaktivedanta Naya Prabhu Mahashayam Vanchakavadruvyascha Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavibhyo Vaishnavi Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare. I'm unqualified to be here, but let me pray to the Lord's feet of my Diksha Guru Maharaj, Nitya Lila Vishnu, Ashtutara Lipta Shishmai, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, and equal number of Sastandala pranams at the Lord's feet of my Shikshan, Sannyas Gurudev, Om Vishnu Pad, Ashtutara Lipta Shishmai, Bhaktivedanta Narayana Swami Maharaj. Let me take shelter of all of our predecessors, previous acharyas, Guru Varga, and all the assembled Vaishnava devotees, sannyasika, and guests assembled. I'm remembering this year in Navadvip, at the time of Gaur Purnima, after a Prikram, Gurudev asked me, what would you like to speak on? And I had missed one of the Prikrams due to some false information where the party was going to go next. I didn't go to Radhakund, and so I wasn't fresh in my memory. I said, anything but Radhakund, Gurudev. I'm not prepared to speak on that. But after I sat down for a while, I don't know if it was Brajna's Prabhu's. It was Gurudev. Gurudev asked me to speak on Radhakund. So Gurudev asked two of us to speak about Chitraketu Maharaj tonight. So I'll do the second part.
Maharaj Parikshit, hearing from Sukadeva Goswami, is very astonished to hear that a demon such as Vritrasura was actually a devotee. How could a demon be devotional, have devotional qualities? So he narrated the further life history of Chitraketu Maharaj. Chitraketu, being renounced after having association with his Gurudev Narada Muni and receiving transcendental mantras, was traveling. And in his travels, he came to Kailash, and there he saw Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva had Parvati sitting on his lap and he's behaving and had one arm around Parvati. He's behaving so affectionately in front of others. And when he said this, there was silence. There was no comment. And then he became a little perturbed that no one was also agreeing with him. And so Parvati, the consort of Lord Shiva, was very angry that he had disrespected her pati. So she cursed him, "You will become a demon." So Chitraketu Maharaj, he accepted this. He could have counteracted it, but he decided to accept this curse because of his devotion and being fixed on Supreme Lord and devotion to the Supreme Lord. So he came in his next birth as Vritrasura. By the way, please forgive any of my mistakes in this endeavor. And if I say anything of worth, it's due to the mercy of Guru. So, amongst the demigods there was one priest by the name of Vishvarup, and he was performing the yagyas. He was the son of a Brahmin, but by the father, but his mother, I believe, was an Asura. So, in his oblations, in his Pariyagya, he was offering so much respect to the demigods. And simultaneously, secretly, he was offering oblations to the demons. So, but it was only known to Indra, the king of the demigods. Indra knew this, that secretly he was offering some of the oblations to the demons, and he thought, wow, if the demons get some share of this sacrifice, this jaga, they'll become more powerful, and he was fearful of that. So Vishvarup had 3 heads. In the heavenly planets, one of those heads was accustomed to drinking somaras. The other one was accustomed to drinking wine and alcoholic beverages. There's oceans of liquor in the heavenly planets, some of the heavenly planets. Rivers of mango juice, etc. With his other head, he took so much foodstuffs. So, Indra, fearing that Vishvarup would cause the demons to have some power, cut off his 3 heads, severed them from his body. So the father of Vishvarup was very disturbed, and he decided to do something to avenge the death of his son and try to get back at Lord Indra. So he performed a yagya also. By the way, those who with material desires surrender to the demigods. Their worship of the demigods is very popular in modern Hinduism because the demigods can give you so many benedictions, wealthy and
beautiful or handsome spouse, good education, etc., and maybe elevation to higher planets. But those with intelligence, especially in this age of Kali, Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam Sangabham Karshadam Yagyar Sankirtan Brayar Yajantehi Sumerasha. Those with sufficient intelligence, especially in this age of Kali, the demigods are praying to take birth in this age of Kali, to have the association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Sankirtan movement, chanting the holy names. So devotees aren't interested in elevation to heavenly planets and having a life for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. They're interested, as by Katha tonight, in it's better, as Ambarish Maharaj Shamarani spoke about, it's better to be in hell and have bhakti than to be in a heavenly planet without bhakti. So we should understand that there's first class intelligence is learning by hearing. Second class is what intelligence means. Okay, you don't hear, the mother tells the child, don't touch that, it's hot, it'll burn you. Maybe the child will learn after he gets burned not to touch it. Third class intelligence means that even after hearing you don't do it, even after experiencing you don't do it, and so you repeatedly commit the mistake of suffering like that. So when the father of Vishwarupa was performing this yajna, his name was Twasta. He was chanting the mantras too, but he mispronounced the mantra. He wanted to get a demon that would kill Indra, but he got a demon that was the enemy of all of the demigods. This was Vritrasura. So Vritrasura was very, very powerful. He was very fierce. And I forget the different descriptions of his form. But if I was closer, I would have Maharaj roar when he's fighting with the demons. So he engaged in battle with the demons because Indra was very fearful. So he fought very, very fiercely with the demons. And so many demons, I didn't say that right. He was fighting with the demigods. So Vritrasura, many of the demigods completely were baffled by his prowess, and they gave up the battle. Like that? All right. But ultimately, Indra began fighting with Vritrasura alone. And this went on for some time. At first, Vritrasura, Indra has a very powerful weapon. No, that wasn't right. But he knocked his club from Indra. Indra, the demigods prayed during this battle, and the Supreme Lord manifested before them and told them that the only way they would be able to kill Vritrasura was to take the bones of a very powerful sage named Dadichi. Thank you. He was so powerful that, and he voluntarily gave up his body. Was completely unattached to his body. He gave up his body, and his bones were used to then produce a powerful thunderbolt, which Indra also had. So Indra also was able to cut off one of the arms of Vritrasura. At one point, Vitrasura, because remember, he's actually very, he is a disciple of Narada Muni in a previous verse as Chitraketu. He began praying to the Supreme Lord. So many wonderful prayers about the existence of this material world and attachments that can bind one with the material world, and the necessity of giving up the attachment so that one can attain the goal of the human form of life and attain the entrance into the spiritual realm.
You explain the 3 or 4 strokes, what he prayed.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. First of all, I offer my thousands obeisances of lotus feet, Srila Prabhupada, all sannyasis, Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, mothers and sisters, please everyone, accept my devout prayers. Now Gurudev gave orders, so all Vaishnavas, they spoke so many stories, Ajamil stories, Vitrasur and Ambarish stories. But first spoke Harinam. So Harinam is protecting us. In this world, anyone cannot protect us. But Harinam, God's name, Narayana name, always protect. Sukadeva Goswami spoke. Nam is very easy, Harinam. And everyone chanting Harinam. They are necessary to carefully advance. In this way spoke this Vitrasur story. Devraj Indra neglect of Gurudev. His Guru, Devguru Brihaspati. In this way, in his life, so big problems come. Before he fought so many times with demons. Also, he killed Vishnu, his brother. Now he is fighting with Vitrasur. But Vitrasur was pure devotee. Before he was Chitraketu Maharaj, Narada Rishi gave place to him. So in this way, he has bhakti. He is coming in demon life. Before told, Narayana para sarve kutasyana bibhyati. Who is Narayana para? So going heaven planet and going hell, they never fear. Every year they have pure bhakti, pure mood. So Vitrasur, he is demon, but he has pure bhakti. So in this way, he prayed to God. Aham Hare Tava Padaikamulo Dasanu Daso Bhavitasmi Bhuya Manasmareta Asupatir Ginanam Grinita Baka Karma Karotu Kaya. Oh Bhagavan, oh Sri Hari, oh my Lord, you are my heart, you are my ear life, you are my Pranapati. So I pray you, life after life, any life, I will be your servant of servant of servant. All the time, I want to serve you. My mind always remember you. My hands always serve your lotus feet. In this way, all senses I can offer you, so serve him all the time and getting sadhu association. I don't want anything else. So devotees life, devotees, they never want any material things. So Vitrasur prayed, Sukadeva Goswami spoke this verse, Nanaka Prishtam, Nacha Parameshtam, Nasarva Bhaumam, Narasadhipattam, Nasarnoga Siddhi, Rapunar Bhavamba, Samanjasatva, Virahaya kanche nanaka prishtam nacha paramishtam. Oh Prabhu, I don't want any Nath Prishta, heaven planet, heaven kingdom, and I don't want Patal kingdom or earth planet, earth kingdom. Also, I don't want wonderful magic and liberations. I want your separations. I can feel your separation. So I am living long distance, long way. So you are too far. So I can feel your separations. Please give me your separations. In this way I can pray you. How is separations? There, Sumitrasura prayed again. Ajata Paksha Iva Mataram Khaga Stannam Passa Tarachudharta Priyam Priyeva Bhushitam Visanna Manorabindasya Didikshvate Tvam Ajata Paksha Eva Mataram Khaga, baby birds, living in nest. So, that time they cannot eat, but their parents collecting some foods and giving them. In this way they are waiting when my parents will come and giving me food. In this way they have attachment to move to their parents. So I want this mood, like separation mood. Always I am watching you when you are coming. But never satisfied. He told again, like one cow mother, she has gone grazing grasses so all day past. But cows always waiting for her when mother will come. When mother came, at that time he wants to go there. That time binding by the roof. Anyone come in and open this roof. But that time, so he is going to mother. He has attachment to mothers. Also Priyam Priyeva Visitam Bhushitam Visanna. Here have called, in this way they are going, they have attachment. But Priyam Priyeva Bhushitam Visanna. One Priya, beloved her, she has love and affections to beloved. There is no any cause. Life after life, in this life, any time, leave him together. If separation, then cannot live. Dying. Already, if beloved going far away, at that time always thinking for him, oh, what is doing, where is living, how is eating, how is, what you are getting, any kind, always thinking for him. So same way, I can remember you. So please give me Priya Priyatam mood. This is called Priya Priyatam mood, beloved mood. Also in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Sukadeva Goswami spoke, Srimad Bhagavatam is famous. Where how can understand Srimad Bhagavatam? This book is Bhagavatam. So where have Vitrasura story and Narayana covered? This is called Bhagavatam. So here, very famous, because Vitrasura was demon. And he prayed Priya Priyatam mood, beloved mood to Sri Krishna. Oh God, oh Sri Krishna was supreme, please give me this mood, this separation mood. He wants to go there and serve to Sri Krishna. Then again he prayed, Mamuttama sloka jane susakham sansara chakre brahmata sakarma bhi tanmaya atmajadarage asakta chittasya nanatha bhuya mamuttama sloka janeshu sakham. Oh Prabhu, oh my dear, oh Supreme Lord, I am praying you life after life, where I am going. any life, I can get sadhu association. Your nearest, so mamattama sloka janeshu sadkham, pure devotee, I can get their association. And all the time I can hear your katha. And I can serve to sadhu. And getting sadhu associations, I can live with sadhus. Then Maya Atmajadarage, everywhere have ignorance, all are Maya. So there are too much attachment in body, mind, heart. So material happiness, in this way we have attachment. Oh, she is my wife, they are my children, my house, my land, so many etc. things. But I don't want this attachment in family, in life. So please give me this bhakti mood. I can get sadhu association. In this way, Vitrasur prayed to God. Then Devraj Indra was very surprised. Oh, what happened here? He is demon, but he has pure bhakti, but I have no bhakti. I am demigod. Also I am king, but I have no bhakti. That time he did not want to kill him. But again Vitrasur told, oh, you can kill me. So you have thunderbolt, so you can you brought here. By this thunderbolt you can kill me, so I am going to Lord's place, so Sri Krishna's place. So I don't want to stay in this body because sadhu do not come in. I cannot get any sadhu association. In this way he prayed. After then when Indra killed to Vitrasur, but long time passed. 1 year he cut his neck. So after that Vitrasur was Vaishnava. But Devraj Indra killed to Vitrasur. In this way then sins come again. Brahma Hatta and Vaishnava Hatta sins. At that time, so he was afraid, then he ran away. Then he was hiding in Manas Sarovar in Kailas, Manas Sarovar, big lake, Manas lake. Then he is hiding in lotus land. 10,000 years passed, hungry, fasting already, and not sleeping, not eating. In this way, he passed his time. So after then, demigods called him. So in this way, Sri Sukadeva Goswami spoke. Sukadeva Goswami spoke. Harinam is very easy. God's mercy. And anyone chanting Harinam and Narayana name, Krishna, Govinda, Murari, Mukunda, Madhusudan, then all sins, everything going away. But there should be very careful. Sadhu Ninda, Guru Avagya. Neglect to Guru, avoid to Gurudev, then Devraj Indra before avoid to Brihaspati. In this way, in his life, so big problems come. And he did fasting and leave him not sleeping, nothing. In this way, his life gone. So very careful from others. In this way, spoke this story. Also, Vitrasur, he went, Bhagavad Lu, he pure devotee. Before he was Chitraketu Maharaj.
First sloka, he prayed that his mind should always remember Supreme Lord, Krishna. By handshake you can, and by tongue glorify. In the last sloka, same thing. Priya 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 Visudam Vishanna. He was not satisfied by giving the example of Ajat Pakshai, because the birds, baby birds, want their mother something to eat and fear will go. And he rejected then. Second, cough Calf example, he rejected because the calf wants for him milk of mother. And he cries for that. And in third example, Priya Priya Vishtam Vishanna. If most beloved has gone anywhere and there is separation mode, what she will do? She will remember, always remember him. And he will glorify his son and daughters, their father's glory. And when he will come, by hands he will serve him in all respect. So third he wanted. I will be very happy. Today we are giving Vishram rest to Hari Katha. I will be very happy that you know that I have written more than 100 books. Some are translated, some are not even. So, 78 in English also. What I want that this book should be distributed. This is a glimpse of preaching. Swami did Srila Swami Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. He preached by book distribution. With all disciples and lady devotees, all were engaged in this. So I request you, there is a book table here. You should collect books as much as you can and distribute to others. I want that this book table should be empty in a new bring another shape. So I request you to help me in this preaching.
Hare Krishna. Also, Srila Gurudev has, some of you may be just for the first time here, but Srila Gurudev has toured around the world 30 times. He has spoken everywhere in the world, beautiful Harikatha, at the time of Brajamandal, Gaudamandal Parikrama, so many wonderful lectures Srila Gurudev has given, darshans. Also, much has been recorded by video. There are 3,000 lectures on MP3 available for you since the beginning of Srila Gurudev's travels. 1,000 video movies are available. This is a complete set which is available also at the book table. Srimad Isha Prabhu has worked tirelessly to prepare this for you. You can obtain this set for cost price, which is only $150. You can buy the complete set, and this way you will always be swimming and sinking and drowning in Srila Gurudev's Harikatha. Hare Krishna.
Srila Gurudev surprised me. He said to my sister Radha, I got a phone call just an hour ago, or an hour and a half, that I'm supposed to make an announcement. So please, I'll hold it by my mouth. So I'd like to share something with you. In Shastra, it says, in order to obtain bhakti for Krishna, there's a little recipe. And this recipe is, one must first have bhakti for Guru. And I'm learning this or step by step. Gurudev's doing a lot of surgery. So how does one develop this? We're still learning and learning.
Please, everybody remain seated. Gurudev will be back in 2 minutes. Yeah.
And that is by...
Don't worry, we will come back.
One develops bhakti for Guru by loving those things that Guru loves. So I was thinking, well, what does Gurudev love? First thing that came to my mind, oh, I know he loves Hawaii. I know he loves the Philippines, Malaysia, Rishikesh. But why does he love these places? Why does he love these places? Because these are the places where he's writing. These are the places he spends 9 months out of the year writing his books, his expansion, presenting and preserving the message of our acharyas. This is very special. This is where Gurudev's love is. So if we want to develop bhakti for Guru, we should love like he loves his literatures. So we're going to give you all an opportunity to participate in a secret recipe. And there's 3 ways you're going to be able to participate. We're going to make it really easy for everybody to participate. The first way is simply just go to the back of the book table, purchase not just one book, but several books for yourself and your friends and family. And if you purchase books, $75 and more, we're going to give you an opportunity to participate in a raffle, a simple raffle, to win Maha. This is Gurudev's writing, his corrections. This is a piece of Maha from the Srimad Bhagavatam, I think it is. Mahaprasad, where Gurudev is spending time, and I don't know, in Hawaii this was from. This is part Mahaprasad that will be offered, that you'll have an opportunity to win. Also signed books from Gurudev, and Mahacup, a Mahacup from Gurudev that he uses. I still don't have that. I'm going to speak to Madam Raj about that. But don't worry. I promised you'll get it. So that's the first way. The second way is we have a GVP book distribution program. You can find more information at the book table. This is a way that everybody could participate in book distribution. This is a way I could participate in book distribution. Basically, you give a donation, 501c3 nonprofit, you get a tax-deductible receipt, and you will be able to sponsor books for book distribution around the world. China, India, Delhi, also in prison programs in America, all around the world, library programs, book racks. This is an opportunity where everybody can participate simply by small donations. If you want more information, you can visit the book table or visit gvpbookdistribution.com. I hope the webcast got it. gvpbookdistribution.com. There are many devotees around the world watching this right now. So, the third way is you simply, and this is for the devotees that are watching this from Australia to Latin America to China and Europe. You just visit bhaktistore.com, and we are getting orders from around the world. We got orders from South Africa, from Switzerland, for Jaiva Dharma, Bhagavad Gita. You simply go to bhaktistore.com, you can order yourself a book or order your friends a book. So these are the 3 ways everybody can participate in serving and loving those things that Gurudev loves, his books. Thank you very much.
We have one more announcement regarding initiations tomorrow. Again, we're reminding the devotees that those who want to take initiation tomorrow from Srila Gurudev, they must come by 8:30 to the house where Srila Gurudev is staying, at Sri Arun Varma's house, and they should come clean, showered with clean cloth, tilak, and with the offering of fruits, flowers, and also Lakshmi donation. And the male devotees should shave their heads. And also, if they haven't already registered for initiation, they must submit their registration with the recommendation of a senior devotee that they know or who knows them. And they must give this to Brajanath Prabhu or Shri Bhaj Madhav Maharaj. So at 8:30 tomorrow morning, the devotees should be there at the house of Srila Gurudev, who will be taking first or second initiation.
Okay, two short announcements in relation with this. 11725 Taylor Crest, Bunker Village. Yeah, also tomorrow morning, some of the ladies, married couples, they have brought their baby and they've requested for grain ceremony. You can come tomorrow morning 8:30. Bring very liquid, not thick, sweet rice, kheer, yeah. Otherwise, baby will have difficulty. Yeah. Also, we want to request all of you who come tomorrow morning for morning walk. Yeah. Tomorrow is a day that all people will go to work, go to school. On that particular road, which you park your car, it is not allowed to park your car there. It will be a big problem because a lot of traffic is going there. So please park your car anywhere in the side lanes. Come on the morning walk, you're most welcome, but walk on one side. Don't walk on the whole road, otherwise police will come and it will be your last morning walk. So right after the morning walk, we request all of you to come here, attend the class and respect breakfast prasadam here. Yeah, don't hang out at the house. We are very busy with initiations and everything. Mars is right. It creates too much pressure on the household. So please, after the morning walk, advance, speed, carefully, drive carefully to the mandir here and be ready for Harikatha. Who is giving class tomorrow morning?
I don't know.
Okay.
Hari Bol. So just a few more announcements. Sripad Madhav Maharaj asked me a question which I didn't have a response for. So he asked me a question that so many devotees have assembled here. How many of them love Gurudev? Raise your hand. So then he asked me the second question.
Prove it.
That how many of them would want Gurudev to come year after year for doing Harikatha festivals? Raise your hands. Anywhere in America.
But if we come here, it must be in English.
Yes. Not everyone has raised their hands. How many of you want Gurudev to come year after year? Okay. So you know, and the third question Madhav Maharaj had, that if you love Gurudev and you want him to come year after year, you realize that it costs money to do all this. So how many have you registered for the festival? Everyone? Where is Sushil ji? According to him, at least 150 or more devotees have not yet registered. How many have not registered? Okay, so something is wrong. So if you are honestly saying, then yes, in front of Gurudev, and Gurudev also told us to make a special announcement. He wanted to say it himself, but based on yesterday's calculation, it seems close to about 200 devotees have not registered.
I want that also registration their names. $17 is not too much. I think all you can pay. So you must pay. Otherwise, how they will maintain the festival? So I request you all, you should all pay.
I must assure you that this is by the kind donations of some generous devotees in Houston. The cost that we are charging is actually much less than what it's costing. Otherwise it would have been much higher. So what if registering is your contribution to arranging this festival? A few more announcements. Many nice devotees had committed for the new temple. We just want to request them. We have a donation commitment form. So if you can please fill it out so that we have your names correctly. We don't make mistakes when we put your names on the plaques. And also we can contact you and keep you updated about the progress of the new construction. So I have these forms. They're also lying outside at the Gaudiya Math, our temple's booth. You can take these forms and please fill them out. There are a couple of devotees who are willing to share their rooms. If any female devotee is looking to share a room, we have a room available at 4 Point Sheraton for the rest of the festival for $120. So please come and contact me. Similarly, if any male devotee is looking to share a room, we have a couple of spots available. Please come and contact me. Tomorrow, there was a youth workshop today. It is going to continue tomorrow also in the temple premises from 10 to 1. And please don't take any food or drinks inside the temple hall. We are finding a lot of different things that devotees are losing. So if you have lost or found something, please go and give it at the registration table. Today we have found one bead bag in the ladies' room, and it just doesn't have beads, it has lots of money inside it also. So if anyone has lost it, please come and contact me. You'll have to tell me exactly what the amount is so I know it's yours. For the morning walk, apart from parking the car at the correct spot, we have noticed some devotees have been plucking flowers. We know that you want to offer them to Shri Gurudev, but I have been requested by senior devotees that this creates a bad impression, because when people see that you're plucking flowers from their homes, they might come and complain. So there are a lot of stalls around here. There are a lot of devotees here who have flowers growing at their homes. You can request them, but please do not pluck flowers from people's homes around where Gurudev is staying. We also need help in the kitchen. The ladies are cooking, but they need help picking up the pots. They are heavy, so any brahmacharis, anyone able-bodied men can please go and help the ladies in the kitchen. There was a set of deities were found here. It seems like either someone has forgotten them or just abandoned them. There are two sets of Gaurnitai deities and one set of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra deities. So the deities are with Ramadidi. Is she here? Ramadidi? Ramadasi from Alachua. So you can contact her and get these set of deities. Just quickly, tomorrow's program.